Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay. Y'all can hear baby girl singing. Wow, that's some good sound. Jesus, all right. All right. Welcome to Words Have Power. My name is Shelly, and we are back to streaming how we were supposed to be. Yeah, right on. So y'all can see me good. Everything looks to be doing good. You hear singing. That would be baby girl. Her room is right here. Okay. How y'all doing today? What's up? What is up? So I was scolded for not showing what makeup I'm wearing. So let me get this ready. I gotta get used to all the stuff I have to do before I go live because I'm not used to it anymore. All right, so I was doing my makeup quick and dirty today. So we have Super Shocks. These are Colourpop Super Shocks. A friend of mine sent them to me. I'm not going to be able to read this lettering. Oh my God, that is so small. There's no way. So this is the gold color. And this is a pinkish color. And this is a really pretty burgundy. Really nice. Highly recommend these if you travel to work. Very quick, very easy, very pretty. This camera does not do it justice at all. I love these. These are the Princess collection. A friend of mine got me like the whole collection. Thank you, bitch. I looked. That was like $68. Oh my God, bitch. Thank you. And for the lip, yet again, the coloring, it makes this look all weird, but this is called, if I can read it, it's a banger. And it's actually a reddish color, but as we know, of course, it looks orange. I love this. Absolutely adore that. So, beyond eyebrows, eyeliner. That's it. Some eye blush. Is there such a thing as eye blush? Blush. So, bare minimum as usual. Okay. Got my coffee. Does everyone have water? Because if you got water, I suggest it. I'm not going to be able to see you for a second, and I apologize. Do. Okay. I just changed the title of this stream to Gabby and mmiw BIPOC women and children. This will be a safe space. We're going to talk about some things that I have been highly irritated by. So is everybody here? We have 7 people here. All right, so we're going to talk about quite a few things once we get started. How's everyone doing today? Hey, Mama T. Hey, Violet Witch. Hey, Sharemare. Waiting for my groceries. Man, I'm thinking that at some point, like once we're able to, we might just order groceries. It might be so much easier. Hey, Teresa, what's up? I know there's a local fruit market or something here. We might actually look into seeing if they deliver like produce and whatnot. Can y'all hear her music? Because this house, that it echoes weird. Every single house has weird echoes. Cooking chicken and rice for cats. Man, can I be one of your cats? It sounds good. That sounds good. Hey, Bad Art, what's up? It's been a minute since I've seen you. How you doing? It's so nice to be streaming again. Marcus is working an odd shift though, so we have to do things a bit different. We have to keep Yummies in the house. I can't say what because she'll be able to hear me. And once I'm done streaming, she and I both get Yummies. Hold on, I'll type in. Chicken and rice and beef and rice. Yeah, that's true. Right on. I might have to start using the headphones again. I might cut out some of the sound. Yeah, and they're really good. And they had like a selection of them. So there's like raspberry, raspberry, blueberry, strawberry, and something else. I don't remember what now. But yeah, they look pretty good. I want one too. Just saying. But we both have to wait until after. Yeah, no. Thank God she can't hear y'all because she'd be in here being like, wait, where? I want one right now. And I don't blame her. I want one right now too. Oh, hey, James. You snuck in. I didn't even see you. How you doing? All right. So y'all know that I have rules on this stream, and I'm not doing this to trigger people. This is not true crime, PORN, if you will. This is talking about behaviors, abusive behaviors, and I have some bones to pick. And I've been sitting on this for a minute, okay? So give me 1 second. I have to go over here. We're starting with one thing in particular for a reason. Because I actually went and spoke with some of my ex-coworkers and we all agree on something. I have to find it real quick though. I have to get back into the routine of checking my comments and all of that stuff. Where was that comment at? Because it's really an important thing to talk about. And I want to hit that first. That was down here. Yes. Why is this blurry? I think I have to get new contacts. And I left my glasses at the old house. So give me 1 second. I'll be with y'all. Wow, thank you all for the prayers and stuff. Things have been so nuts that I didn't even have a chance to look at those. I'm going to have to go through and respond to all of the comments. Wow, I didn't even know all of this was here. Okay. Where? I know it was right down here somewhere. Oh, Davi Vanity's fans are angry at me. Just be angry. Die angry. Die angry. I'm not even worried about y'all. Where is that comment? I wish I could remember what what video it was on in particular. Hold on, let me go look. Maybe it'll be easier. Okay. Oh, they changed this. Okay. So there's this common misconception that an abuse victim might lash out abusively at their abuser. And there's a term for it, but I hate it so much that I'm having a hard time remembering it. It's, I think it was reactive abuse. And I spoke with one of my ex-coworkers about this, and I wanted to talk about it here. Right. Everything is blurry for you? I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I might have to probably put a different contact lens in here because my vision's all blurry. And I forgot my contacts at the old house, or my glasses at the old house. Right where they needed to be. Yes. Okay, so what happened was one of the new places I'm working at, and some of my ex-coworkers, we kind of just had a spontaneous get together, and we were talking about reactive abuse. Now, some of these people they have PhDs. And I love speaking with people who have that kind of training. I'm pulling from fucking experts, okay? And I have been told that I am, in fact, an expert, that I have the right to say that. I don't like saying that. I think that comes off as being very arrogant. These people that I sat and had this amazing conversation with assured me that whole reactive abuse thing, to paraphrase, is bullshit. If you are being abused and you are defending yourself, there is nothing wrong with that. If some stranger came up to you on the street and started abusing you and you defended yourself, it would be self-defense. Just because you're in a relationship, it somehow magically switches to you don't have the right to defend yourself. I'm talking about the Gabby Petito case, yes, but I'm talking about domestic violence in general. And it doesn't matter if it's an intimate partner, or it could be parents to a child. It could be a child to parents. It could be any kind of family relationship dynamic where there is abuse happening. I don't agree with and I don't believe in reactive abuse. If a victim is being punched and they happen to get a good shot in and punch that abuser back and get that abuser to back off from them, that is self-defense. And I'm speaking as ex-sheriff's deputy, ex-victims advocate, and a survivor. I would like to see people not use that term, especially if you have never been in a DV situation. Just no. If you've never been in it and you've never had to defend yourself against someone who says they love you but is beating the ever-loving whatnot out of you, just shush. If you don't have the training and you have not read the materials and been in the field, etc., and you don't really know what you're talking about, just shush with that whole reactive abuse thing. And there are other terms they're the same thing, but no. No. Because if you take the intimate situation out of the equation and it's just a stranger, then reactive abuse is no longer a thing. It's just self-defense. And that's what it is, self-defense. Wow, okay, my chat just jumped. Yeah, me too. Me too. A lot of survivors have had to defend themselves. And in many cases, if they hadn't done it, they wouldn't have survived. So all these people running their mouths need to just shut it. That's really good, Violet. I'm glad to hear Leo's doing better. Hey, Wanda. Hey, Don. How you doing? Hey, Luna. I love this chair too. We call it my throne. It's not a computer chair, so it's a little bit weird, but I adore this chair. It is perfect for my aesthetic, and it goes perfect with this desk. The people who gave us this furniture, I was like, are you sure? Like, this is some really nice furniture. I was kind of stunned. I'm still stunned. So, yeah. Okay, so on TikTok, I saw several videos that were going into the Gabby Petito case, and they were talking about reactive abuse and all that. And I was like, nope. Nay. Let us not go there. But then also, when you look at the true crime community in general, they collectively lost their minds. And this is, I've been talking for a while now about the perfect victim, right? Blonde-haired, blue-eyed, small, young, from a decent family, etc. The perfect victim. The perfect victim. All kinds of resources were poured into finding this poor young woman. Rightly so. That's a good thing. But you know what would be great? If they would have that same energy for Black women, for Indigenous women, and children. That'd be great. That'd be great. Because what I am seeing is, I've been looking at this for a minute. This is not a new thing. From KMOV4, hold on, let me get the link. Okay, that's the old one. I have to jump over to this. Here's the link. Is a shooter targeting Black women in St. Louis. Now, this is in East St. Louis. This was, when was this written? September 28th, 2021. And this says 7 Black women have been shot in St. Louis, and 2 of them were killed in the last 7 days. Here's the problem. From what I'm seeing, there's more than this. It looks like there are more than this. And they're not all being connected. And if you go on TikTok, there are a bunch of people talking about this. And they're saying it's about every 3 days. This potential serial killer is targeting Black women. Possibly every 3 days. And it's way more than 7. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about her XSO. That's great. There are potentially, look, with the mmiw, murdered and missing Indigenous women, there are speculations that it could be a combination of 1 or more truck drivers who are serial killers, along with 1 or 2 offenders in these man camps that pop up along the pipelines for the construction of the pipelines. So you could have 4, 5, 6 offenders just moving around, attacking Indigenous women. But we're going to put all our resources into this one dude. Meanwhile, in East St. Louis, it's looking like Black women are being targeted by a serial killer. There's a reason I bring this up. Well, that's good. I'm glad, because I haven't seen very much of that. I'm going to ask y'all, if you see something where people are sharing information about mmiw, stop. Give them your time. Invest your time in that Indigenous person. Your time is valuable, right? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hey, what you doing? What you need? I know you have a Band-Aid. You okay? Yeah, I know. I know, and I'm sorry. It's okay. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, boo-boo. I know. Come on. Oh, I'll get you some pretty stuff. Come here. It goes on your lips. Oh, pretty. Now rub your lips together. Okay, go watch your Kindle. I love you, boo-boo. Mwah. Okay, find your sippy for me. Okay, I forgot to stop the mic. Oh well. And I'm saying, give those content creators your time, because right now the Indigenous community everywhere. Okay, get it here. I'll go get your milk in just a sec, okay? Okay. Thank you. Right. So Indigenous communities are going through it right now with, there's a reason I stopped talking about mmiw, because with the mass graves that have been found of the children, that it is very hard for me to talk about that right now. The count, last time I checked, was over 6,000 graves. So the Indigenous communities on this continent are going through it right now. So if someone is missing and somebody's doing a missing persons stream, please give them that time and invest in Indigenous people, because not many people are paying attention to it. And guess what happens when people are not paying attention to a group of people? And you'll say, oh, I can target that group and I'll get away with it for who knows how long. And then also with law enforcement, you have the whole thing of no human involved. Remember, I've talked about that. NHI, no human involved. There are law enforcement officers out there who are racist, sexist, classist. They hate anyone who isn't like them. And if you're not a woman who fits their ideal of what a perfect woman is, then you're not the perfect victim, and good luck getting justice. Jessica Easterly is a case in point of that. I can go down a long list of serial offenders who targeted women who were not considered perfect victims. Gabby Petito was considered a perfect victim. So there were drones and dogs and large groups searching everywhere. And it was a big, huge national media circus event, probably worldwide. And meanwhile, there was a 14-year-old Indigenous girl who was missing. I am going to start talking about mmiw again. It's hard to do for me, but people have to start paying attention. And the true crime community needs to start devoting a portion of their time to this situation and to Black women in East St. Louis or wherever else. Hey, baby, what's up? What you need?
I don't know.
Do you need milk? Okay, I have to go grab her milk. I will be right back. I do apologize. Yes. Do that for those content creators, please. I'll be right back. Do you want chocolate? How much chocolate? Yeah, come here. Go in your room. Watch your Kindle. Yay! Yay! Okay. That was a mad dash to the kitchen and back. Where was I? Yeah, that is true. That is true. But each of you here can make a difference. You can make a difference just by giving your attention to content creators who talk about mmiw and bipoc people, those people who are missing or what have you. You're doing good. And the more people who do that change the algorithm to make it to where it has to be talked about, right? Hey, Jacqueline. Yes, she is. She's still a little mini me, but That is true. That is very true. Yeah, Canada. Ooh. Man. All right. So there's a case that's come up that is that's just going to be one big trigger warning is what it's going to be. Okay, look. Here's the thing. There was a serial offender who was apparently a cannibal. And it was thought that he had friends that were working with him, but those friends were not really fully investigated because most of his victims were who? Indigenous women. So the friends just kind of went off and did their own thing. We're going to have a few interesting streams coming up. And I'm probably going to piss some people off, but I don't even, look, I'm past the point of caring. Yeah. Well, their family, their friends, their community will look, but law enforcement? What? Well, then they try to say, well, whose jurisdiction is it? Well, when you got someone who's missing, when you have a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, mother of 3 who's missing, who cares what jurisdiction it is? Get it done. All y'all just jump in there and get it done then. All the jurisdictions, jump in and get it done. Find this person who's missing. Because a bunch of these mmiw, a bunch of these missing Indigenous women are being trafficked. And if you think they're not going to grab that cute little white, blue-eyed, blonde-haired girl they see waiting for the school bus, if you think they're not going to grab her, you are sadly mistaken. But it's all about the racism, the classism, all of that. It seems like nothing really gets done until it affects a certain group of people. And then it's like, oh my God. Well, meanwhile, you may have a serial killer who has, who knows, over 100 potential victims. It's irritating. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you too. I'm glad to be back. It's been a minute. Share, Mary, goofy. Yes. Yeah, and there's more. With the residential schools, there'll be way more mass graves. That's not even scratching the surface, by the way. And everyone knows it. That it's because that's just in Canada. They haven't really begun to look here yet as much. So, yes, and thank you. All right, so on Tuesday, representatives from St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department and the St. Louis County Police Department held a press conference to announce that 3 recent shooting deaths are linked. 2 of the victims were, I hate this term, Black females, 16-year-old, I'm not going to say her name, and 49-year-old, out of respect for families, I don't say their names. When police were asked if a serial killer was responsible for their deaths, Major Sean Dace said, well, until we finalize the investigation, we don't want to categorize it as that right now. Do you have to be a rocket scientist? Is my question. That's me interjecting my question of the day. The one victim was shot and killed shortly before midnight on September 16th near the intersection of W. Florissant and East Prairie. She was known to hang out in that corner and work as a sex worker. So he's this person. Here we go. Here we go. Who do serial killers like to target? Vulnerable groups of people. The most vulnerable, the better. Black women, especially if they participate in sex work, are not the perfect victims from the get. Doesn't matter if they participate in sex work or not. Okay? Okay. I can list off probably 15 serial killers who targeted Black women, sex workers, purposefully in poor areas, purposefully, and they got away with it with victims ranging potentially in the hundreds per killer. So they're saying it's 7 women. I say prove it. Prove it's 7. Because law enforcement will go out of its way not to connect older victims, not to. They don't. I'm like, you could close cases. You can make your department look good. You could get those cases off the books and give those families closure and make your community trust you. That you actually care about them, right? It's called community policing. But instead, nah, whatever. No human involved. That is what Black women, sex workers, become to much of law enforcement. And it's a travesty. Wow, okay, what is even happening? Oh my, okay. I have to charge my earphones. Okay. All right. Oh, you're kidding me. No, I'm not kidding you. Nope. Nope, I'm not kidding. Yes, in several of the serial killers I'm thinking of, it took the family members of victims going to news and just anyone who would listen, okay, putting together candlelight vigils and all this and that, and just basically barraging and berating police into doing something. Public outrage is what it took. So, and I'm sorry to say this, but in East St. Louis, it's probably going to end up being the same thing. They're probably going to have to do a full-on public outrage campaign all over social media, in person, marches, you name it, to get this shit to stop. All right. And I'm going to be talking about NHI, no human involved. I'm going to keep trying to keep you aware of that, because that is what goes on when Indigenous women, Black women, any woman who's not the perfect victim, right? When they go missing or when they're found murdered, you know now why law enforcement isn't so bothered by it, why there are so many cold cases, why there are so few cases solved and murderers brought to justice. Give me 1 second, Joe. And Marcus says hi. He is currently at work. Okay. He said to say hi. Let me see. Another sex worker in the neighborhood who knew the one victim She asked that we don't reveal her identity. Said that other sex workers are involved in a dangerous line of work, but she didn't think. Okay. So there are some people who think it is not a serial killer, but when you have that many people I'm just saying, and if it's in a period of time. Okay, this article is a bit weird. And it's been, okay, this article is saying a week and a half. I was hearing about this a while ago. This has not been a week and a half that I have been keeping an eye on this area. So, so what do you do if the media is potentially helping law enforcement play things down because they don't want people to panic? The public, all the family members and friends and people in the neighborhood, they have to step up and force everyone to pay attention. Yes. Hey, Katie, how you doing? Yeah, East St. Louis. Talking about the differences between how the perfect victim is treated versus the not so perfect victim. That is not surprising. It's not surprising. So they say that there are fewer serial killers. I'm not seeing that. And experts that I know and speak with are not seeing that. It's just the powers that be don't want there to be as many serial killers. But one thing that you have to think about is that after major wars, there's usually, from everything I've read, from all the materials I've read, there's like an uptick in how many serial killers you'll have, right? Think about that for a second. That's what happened after World War II. That's why you had a ridiculous amount of serial killers in California and other places, right? The whole chat just jumped. Okay. That is, you have to force law enforcement to care. And it sucks to say that, but it's happened in too many different states, jurisdictions, departments, etc. You have to force law enforcement to care. And that's fucked up. I know, me too, right? Because what I'm hearing from content creators about what they're seeing in East St. Louis is that this has been going on since, if I remember correctly, since before the BLM riots. So this has been a while. This is not just a week or two. This is a while. Long enough for people to notice a pattern of 3 days. Yeah, I've been to St. Louis a few times for work, and I've driven through there a bunch of times, but I'm starting to look more at it because Nobody else is really paying attention. It's a goddamn travesty. It's all about the clout. Gabby Petito became, clicks and views and whatnot. The few content creators I have watched talking about her case, and I haven't watched very much because I have been ungodly busy, but I just typed it in and picked a random content creator. I did not know them, and I watched it and I was mortified. I was disgusted because they weren't talking about domestic violence. They weren't talking about things of substance. It was just all sensationalized fluff. And who's that going to help? It's not going to help anyone. I mean, tell them to be careful. Tell them to be careful, because right now this person is targeting Black women working in sex work. But there's no telling, they could decide to, well, hell, if I get away with it with these women, I can probably get away with it with any woman. When you let serial offenders just do whatever the hell they want willy-nilly, and you don't give them any consequences, you don't go after them, and they see that they can do whatever they want, then they will do whatever they want. Sure, of course I am. I haven't, I was in East St. Louis for work, and that's not the same thing as being there and getting to know the culture and the people and the city itself, right? So I don't know the layout of the city as well, but I've been keeping an eye on it because it's scary. It's actually, it's worrisome. Yeah. Wait, who's of Scottish descent? Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of I did a stream about Gabby, sure. And, my main thing with the Gabby case was how law enforcement handled it. That was FUBAR. Has anyone else been pointing out the personal bias of Mr. Bearded Law Enforcement fucktard? That he has a personal bias. A lot of officers have personal biases. And that's part of what I'm talking about here. We collectively need to start demanding that law enforcement pay attention to BIPOC people, mmiw, poor people, people who are not the perfect victims in the minds of these, scumbags is what a lot of law enforcement are at this point. I'm ex-law enforcement. I have every right to say that. If anyone doesn't like that, they can go suck a bag of D's. You have people with a badge who should not ever have a badge. If you don't care, you're sitting there looking at someone who's a victim and you're demonizing them, turning them into the abuser, you don't need that badge. You should not be working in that capacity. And if you don't care about a potential serial killer working in your city, that doesn't make you angry that there might be an offender like that in your city. There's something wrong with you. And you should not have that badge. Right. So, I'm keeping an eye on this this St. Louis thing, and I have been for a while. This article is full of shit. I'm not even putting this link up because it hasn't been a week. Okay, I call bullshit on that. Yes. The hell? He's commiserating with an abuser. Who usually does that? Who usually commiserates with an abuser? A fellow abuser. I'm just gonna fucking say it. Allegedly, in theory, it is maybe possibly my opinion. I hate that I even have to say that, but whatever. Okay, so update on, and this is a different article. Update on connected homicides punctuate day of shootings in St. Louis. So there was a vigil. One man was killed, 4 others injured. Wow. So with that, they're not going to know straight away if that was connected or not. I get that, but okay, so yeah, I mean, this the media isn't really. Hey, St. Louis, do you have any investigative journalists who might like to look into a serial killer potential possible serial killer? Because just saying. I haven't seen that. Spanish Lake. I have to look that up. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was obvious. It was blatantly obvious that she was the victim in that situation. And this is why law enforcement needs to be reformed. And if it's a DV call, something like that, they should immediately bring someone in who's a victim's advocate, counselor, therapist, something right there to assess the situation. Because obviously, law enforcement quite often has personal biases and they shouldn't be making those judgment calls. Oh, Lord, okay. We might need like a list of of movies and stuff. Is that about St. Louis or like I don't know the area names around St. Louis. Right on. Let them know. I mean, I'm not the only person who's paying attention to this, but I really haven't been seeing people speak very much about the situation, and it's really typical. Seems like it's really typical. So yeah, I may not have very many people on here on my stream. I don't have like 400 people on my stream. That's not what I'm going for, though. I'm going for getting people to wake the fuck up is what I'm going for. They called it, yeah. Okay. You should have a victim's advocate, counselor, therapist, something like that, come to the scene, talk to both parties themselves, make the decision for themselves who the abuser is, who the victim is. They're going to see through all the bullshit. They have the training that obviously this law enforcement officer lacked drastically. And they're going to be able to advise the officers on what is or is not going on. Can a man be a victim of domestic violence? Hell yeah. I've seen it. Some of my clients were men, yes. But statistically speaking, far more women are victims of domestic violence that end in murder and homicide. So therefore, I think it would behoove law enforcement to take it more seriously than that jackass in that body cam footage did. Yeah, I get you. I get you on that. But I really would like to see people placing that same energy in mmiw and finding missing and murdered Indigenous women, because there are thousands every year. It's an epidemic in this country. And then when you talk about Black women and children, it's bad. So I think that, how's about this? How's about if people make Gabby Petito's, I'm just going to call it like I see it, like I saw it when I first saw that body cam, and I realized, I was like, oh yeah, she's dead. How's about we make her murder have meaning? Use that energy from her murder as a catalyst to help mmiw and bipoc people. Wouldn't that be an amazing thing? If Gabby wasn't just a victim, but was a catalyst to something positive, wouldn't that be amazing? What a wonderful way to give someone a legacy, a lasting legacy, right? I really want a scented candle so bad. I don't have any scented candles here, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. Because at the French market in the French Quarter right there, they had people who make homemade scented candles, and they're so good, so good. And I miss them. Yes. So if you're watching the replay, we're going to be posting all kinds of resources, etc. Just pause if you have any information you need, and I will reshare them. What is that smell? Apple. That is good. All right. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. But they know everything. The one, I don't even remember the name of the one that I listened to. And I was just like, man, you're a complete and whole jackass. Like, to paraphrase, they said something along the lines of, well, if she hit him, though, was she really asking for it? For being murdered? What the fuck? Wait, what? It's probably a good thing I don't remember that content creator's name. I was not impressed. I think I watched like 15 minutes of their stream or video or whatever. I was like, oh, hell no. That is straight up victim blaming. I mean, that's, it would be amazing if the perfect victim could bring about justice for people who are considered imperfect, and maybe get people to think outside of that box. Humans are human and should be treated with respect. Oh, really? Wait. Hold up. Did you say Greek food? To like stuffed grape leaves? No. I need to know where this farmer's market is. Apparently the old building is not a thing anymore. Where? Look, you're going to have to bring me there because you can't say things like Greek food and then just leave me hanging. Like, no. Yep. Yeah. And quite often, you got to think about it. Quite often, abuse victims will protect their abuser because they're scared of what'll happen after. Will they be abused more, right? Trauma bonding is a thing. That law enforcement officer, there were two of them. They both need to go back. I will be their FTO. They will hate me. Yeah, when I tell you, oh, they're lucky I'm not their FTO because I'd be like, oh, you're going, bitch, we're going to chat. And you're going to run some laps a lot. Right. Oh, stuffed grape leaves. No. That sucks. I mean, but if they have a stall, they may have like a regular visitor. Because, man, I can eat some stuffed grape leaves now. Look, anything Mediterranean, you don't want to have me in a kitchen if you're cooking Mediterranean food because I will just eat it. Shelly, share, vlog? I mean, sure. That would be funny. That might be a thing that we have to do. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into Gabby's case because I've been looking at the St. Louis thing going on, and I've been looking at mmiw, and I'm not putting down Gabby at all whatsoever. I send her family and her lots of love because I very easily could have been her. Okay? It's not about that. It is about we need to start placing the same amount of energy into people who don't look like you and don't live in the kind of house you live in and don't have the kind of culture you have. And just if, I'm just throwing this out there, if somebody is a drug addict, it doesn't make them less than. They could go into recovery and start healing in a month or a year. But their life is cut short by a serial killer or whatever, right? Just because someone has an addiction, it doesn't mean that they're just trash and they should just be thrown away. That's bullshit. I don't agree with that, and I never will. Oh, look, don't even get me started. It was blatantly obvious. It was blatantly obvious. She was relieved to see that cop. She was relieved to get out of that vehicle and just take a breath where she didn't have to fight, is what was happening. And I'm trying not to go on a cussing rant because baby girl's right there. But shoot, we could have two floating heads. From we fly. Witches, we fly. Yes. I might actually be a witch for Halloween. Because I don't really have much of a wardrobe at this point. So, like a witch's hat, and I'm good. I have wigs and, had all kinds of costume stuff. Because when you live in New Orleans, you have to be able to, mask up. Yes, they can and will. Yeah. That's trauma bonding. Yep. What she was doing, that was she. This is why that law enforcement officer should never be allowed to work on DV cases ever the fuck again. Because what she was displaying and presenting was standard behavior for somebody who is a victim, but doesn't know how to express that and doesn't understand how that they don't have to be treated that way. It's trauma bonding. You can read my mind. Oy. Probably the look on my face probably says a lot too. Personally, I think I like the cranberry better than the apple, but the apple's good too. All right, so remember, self-care when we're talking about, trauma type situations, right? You trigger your senses, smell, touch, music, sound, sight, so on and so forth, right? Hydrate, water. What do you need to help you feel better if you are triggered? Remember, self-care, right? Although I think I like candles better than air freshener, really. But all right, so we're at just about an hour. I have to start doing dinner and bedtime. Oh, there's Idun. So we have not solidified a schedule yet because there are some things happening. So I'm just going to try to keep doing it this way with baby girl, with the, yummies as a, I don't like doing the whole bribing thing, but with a 3-year-old, you got to do what you got to do, So, okay. I am going to be looking more into what's going the situation in St. Louis and mmiw, and this channel will be focusing quite heavily on that. If y'all can hang, we will of course be talking about abuse tactics and all of that. And I guess apparently I have to talk more about this whole idiotic term of reactive abuse so that I can refute that, because no. Positive consequences is good behavior. Yeah, that's true. But we can talk about food now, because now I'm all about, I have Greek food on the brain. Thanks a lot. Now I just want all the stuffed grape leaves and the gyros and the, oh, Lord. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Dawn. Hope you're doing all right. I hope Gwen is doing good. And right, you can never have too much Greek food. Ever. I'm convinced of that. I basically lived on Greek food for like 2 months straight one time, because it was either like MREs or that. There was no choice. So I was like, I'm good. I have Greek food over here. I am great. Hey Hatter, how you doing? What's been going on? Right on. I have to find out where the location is and go by there and see. Right on. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad she's doing all right. What you doing? You okay?
Uh-huh.
Do you need something?
Uh-huh.
Is it about that time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go watch your show a little bit more, and then we'll go get some yummies, okay?
Okay.
You can say hi?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. You don't have to. Humanitarian packs is goodies. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, part of me kind of likes MREs in a weird way, but then part of me like resents them thoroughly because oh my God, after Katrina, it seemed like I ate MREs for so long. You have a job. Yay! Get it, Hatter. I'm so glad to hear that. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's going good for you. Oh. I mean, totally worth it. Yes. Once a year, make it count. Right, right. Loft 18. I don't know what that is. Is that a club? And is that in the CBD of New Orleans? I'm not sure. I don't do normal clubs. I do like goth, industrial, metal, not regular clubs. And good things are going to come your way, Hatter. Valley Girl, what do you mean? Which parents? I'm not sure. There's a lag between me and you, right? So I say what I say, right? And then by the time you type and what you type gets to me, there's quite a bit of a lag. So you're going to have to explain to me what you're talking about right here, because that looks like a question I probably want to talk about. I haven't moved in 20 months, standing for the 10-hour days. Oh, right. I get you, Hatter. But I mean, you've been out of it for a little while, but you'll get back into it. Muscle memory, all of that. Just remember, when you're getting back into a physical job like that, you have to keep up on your protein intake and all of that. Yep. True story. Now, see, exactly. See, that's what I was wondering. So, his parents, if his parents aided and abetted him, they should be charged accordingly. That is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. If they helped him in any way, shape, or form, I don't care if that's your kid, like you don't do certain things. They should have consequences. Her parents should have free trauma therapy, grief counseling, whatever they need. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'll be right back. Okay. What do we do to prepare our children? That's a good question. I think that people need to start educating our youth more on consent. What is a positive relationship versus a negative relationship? What is or is not acceptable behavior in relationships? How not to be abusive? What is abusive? How to spot it? And the fact that you don't have to stay in it. Hey, Gingerly, how you doing? I mean, people show up, people leave, people come back. It's all good. We have typos and we have aliens and gremlins. And, it's fine. It's good to see you, though. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, baby girl, she's 3, and I'm already teaching her about consent. She has the right to say no. If somebody wants to give her a hug, she can say no. She doesn't have to give someone a hug. It's her body. She can decide if she's going to hug someone or not, right? Well, I mean, she's 3, and I'm already starting to teach her to have personal boundaries and limitations and respect the fact that she has the right to have those. And if anyone says otherwise, they can, tra-la-la down the road. This is true. That is a hard one, though. I don't know. That's a hard one. If you see signs of abuse, like physical abuse, if you see signs of verbal, emotional, etc. abuse, financial abuse, yada yada, that is a hard one. I would say let your child, if they're an adult, if they're over 18, right? There's not much you can do. What you can do is let them know that you are there for them, and you always will be. And if they need help, anytime, day or night, right? And do not let the abuser push you out of your child's life, which is easier said than done. But a vid golf club. Think golfing, but indoors and video screens. Weird. Okay. Right on. Well, I'm glad you got the job, Hatter. Yeah. Speaker mind. Yep. Hey, right? He damn well better. Yes, indeed. This is true. This is true. Yeah. That right there. Yeah, I don't know. It's, in this culture, women are taught, from girls to be polite, be nice, not rock the boat, yada, yada. If somebody disrespects your boundaries and limitations, it's no big deal, just whatever, smile, be nice. I say, screw that. She's going to be raised to be a warrior, and if you cross her boundaries and limitations, if she needs to, she can kick you in the D, and I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? Like, we go back to the whole reactive abuse BS. That is not reactive abuse. That is defending yourself. People, yes, it should. Respect should go both ways. Yes, indeed. I think that's the thing that we definitely need to start teaching young people. Didn't even know about boundaries and limitations until I got old. See, that should be something you learn when you're little. She's 3. I'm teaching her that right now for a reason. Boundaries, limitations, consent revocation, like, by the time she's like 12, she'll probably, have read, I will try to fill her with all of the knowledge I can. Okay, so half these articles that I have read about St. Louis, I'm just not even, it's a big old pile of BS. And it has the feel of media backing law enforcement. So, yes, I agree. Mom was into teaching you religion. I mean, that's fine, but you also have to balance. It's all about balance. Wow. Really? Right. Right. Yep, I get you. Yes, indeed. Privacy is part of it, right? Yeah. Yep. All right, y'all. I have to get going. I have to do baby bedtime stuff and all of that. But I will be back tomorrow, same time. I'm not even sure what tomorrow's stream is going to be, but it should be interesting. You were supposed to be. No. I'm telling you, I'm going to start a religion. I don't know what the name will be, but women will be encouraged to be strong. And yourself, however that might be for you. Good Lord. Meek and submissive. I can't even fathom that. Yes. I miss going to the bathroom alone. I really do. All right, y'all. I will see you tomorrow. Same time. More than likely, I might just keep it the same time if she, if it works out well with baby girl. Yeah, I'm about to get doused in water is what's going to happen with bath time. We'll have to come up with a name. I don't know what the name should be. See you later, Hatter. I'm so glad you found a job. I'm so happy for you. And thank you, Sharemare, for being an awesome mod. Don't forget you have the right to say no. Your no should be respected. If your no is not respected, yeet them off into a lake or something. Like, just no. You have the right to boundaries and limitations. And there's no such thing as reactive abuse. I fucking hate that term. Oh boy. And I appreciate everyone for stopping by. True that. You want an equal partner? Well, I'm sure you can find one, Hatter. We're low on everything is what's going on. We're low on everything. But, slowly but surely we're getting things normalized. It's just taking time. All right, y'all. I have no idea what I'm going to make for dinner at all. All right. Love y'all. Bye. See you tomorrow.